ply women with liquor all day. And look, a lot of things they're saying are the truth of how this works. You ply them with liquor all day, and right. And like, shame on you for allowing this narrative to be out there. And how could you not have shut this down? Like, where is the statement? And Brandi's lawyer is going so far as to say, you're doing this for ratings. You're doing this to create the narrative so that everyone tunes in droves when this show comes out. Like, this is extremely irresponsible that you're letting this narrative go on about an innocent woman, you know, just for ratings after applying these people with liquor all day. Now, and so I'm not saying I'm not taking any sides. I'm just saying this is a good lawyer. This you don't think I've taken the note of this, Mr. Damian West, ESQ, and Mr. That's sorry. I don't even think that's the person. I think that's Lisa Shannon is at the no, it's Duncan Levin. These are the people at Bravo, because Lisa Shannon's high up at Bravo. So look, it goes back to what I'm saying. I mean, do I think we're not going to see Girls Trip 4? I mean, I've said that so many times. Look, I don't think we're not, but how do we see it now? How do we see it? Because you're not going to be able to edit the tape that this person is requesting, whether they get it or you have to hand it over. Now we get into legal things. But eventually, if there's some lawsuit, there is raw footage somewhere. So I agree. It's a great tactic. And now if that is handed over or that exists, how is this show now going to be edited? Because if you were going to edit it one way, now, isn't that a lawsuit? If you're already asking for the, how are you going to edit this a certain way when there's a lawyer involved now? A lawyer's going to say, like, yeah, we're actually suing you because look at how this is portrayed. And this is not at all what happened. There is certainly a way to edit this that one side looks predatory or less predatory, right? So now we have a raw footage being requested. How are we going to see something on the screen that's anything less than exactly? I don't know. Look,
are you basically getting at that this lawsuit that Brandi's lawyers have filed is almost a way to, they're not going to show the footage at all? Is that what you think is behind this?
I think it doesn't help them showing it. I don't know. This is a big fucking mess. It's a big mess. Now, it's just like you and I have talked about. You come on my podcast, you don't like it, you want edits, this and that. I mean, the bridge is burned. Right. Like when you waste an hour of my fucking time, I'm sending this out because as we talk about, I'm of the people. So you don't want this episode aired, I don't give a fuck. It's being aired. So I'm sure that Bravo is not going to just scrap like $250,000 times 8, you know, and production value and renting and flying. It's a lot of money that was put into this filming of this Girls Trip 4. So I don't think we're not going to see it. It's going to cost a lot of money. Although, did you just see recently Julia Roberts having horrible screen testing for Shakespeare? She was supposed to be Shakespeare in Love instead of Gwyneth Paltrow. It cost them $6 million, the studio and Julia. I don't know if they had to pay her. I don't know how. I didn't read the article, but like, so look, it's a huge network, NBC. They might just have to eat whatever costs based on the exposure. But this is the stuff I love. This is why people listen to us, Sarah, because we like to break the fourth wall and talk about real fucking life. This is real life here. This is the type of shit I love. Remember you told me last week to get inspired?
Yes.
A Scandoval and who cheated on who. I mean, we'll talk about that. Yes. I'm not over it. I'm just like, come on, guys. Let's talk about bigger things.
Right. People have affairs all the time.
Even though we're going to talk about it soon, because that's all you guys want to talk about. And Mama needs to eat. But I don't know. I mean, how are we going to see Girls Trip 4 when now there's a lawyer that's wanting edited? I mean, bravo, tisk, tisk, tisk. How are you going to edit this? Because Brandi's going to be watching, and so is her lawyer. So look, I don't know, girl. I don't know. And listen,
genius play by Brandi. And I think to your point, I think you've said it from the start. I don't think we're going to see Brandi back on Bravo for a very long time. I mean, I think this is probably it. Yeah. So I think to Brandi's point, what does she have to lose? Like you ought to go big, go home. Maybe you can get a settlement.
And I think that, first of all, guys, in the real world, you know, like this takes a minute to hire a lawyer, draft this, like that. She might have been doing that all along, but I think my mind goes, I think she was not doing this. I think she was like, I know what happens because look at Nene and look at this one. And when you get a lawyer, that is the nail in the coffin. And I don't want the nail in the coffin. I think that, listen, I had Brandi on this podcast and I said this. I've said this. If I didn't say this, let me say it now. Because you never know what to expect the first time, right? I was blown away by the level of intelligence as a person Brandi had. Like, my takeaway from speaking to her one-on-one was, look, I don't think she's innocent. Yes, I think she gets drunk. I think she drinks too much. I think she changes. But I was shocked at, like, she wasn't difficult at all with me. She was on time. Like, it was a very professional, like, the talk was high level about how housewives work. I was like, wow, this girl is smarter than a lot of people give her credit for. So I think, to me, just my own analysis is like, she was probably trying to work on it. And like, look, all these other people are fucking afraid to blink an eye at Bravo because they dangle the carrot. Oh, maybe in 20 years you can get back on the show. No, girl, you were fired. They're never going to hire you back. So I love when someone's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And wait, you haven't fucking returned my calls or emails for, oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. I'm really banned. I'm really done. I'm never going to be back. And then you're like, right. Now I have nothing to lose. I would do the same. I would do the same thing. I would try to work it out with a big network of like, I want to come back, guys. But once the light went on, it would be like, I'm not the chump. Like, I'm okay to be canceled. Like, as a person, me, David, I would rather stick my hand in the fire than have you just dangle that carrot. Once I realized, there's no fucking carrot, guys. I'm not your fucking trained monkey. So I think that's what happened. And I think now she's like, I have nothing to lose and I don't care. And like, you're going to say, I mean, these are what, if she did it, that's a thing. But if you didn't, you're letting this narrative about me perpetrate. How dare you? How dare you? And I am going to fucking sue you. So I thought this letter was brilliant and it covered so many points about the applying of alcohol and how Caroline wanted it and asked for it, whether that's true or not. That's what a lawyer does. And that's where and I'm like, well played, Brandi, for now. Right? That's all.
Yes. Very well played. Yes.
And I just think, I don't know. I don't know what this means for Girls Trip 4, guys. Just buckle up. Okay. There we go. There we go. I like that. Scheana says that she thinks they're going to need bodyguards at the Vanderpump Rules reunion. The Scandoval. The scandal. I think they will.
I think they will. I think they should. It's going to be the highest rated 3-part, 4-part series ever. I can tell you, I love my girls from Potomac, but I can tell you from the first 30 seconds, it's going to be more interesting than that reunion, which was just so boring and so bad. So, yeah, I think they should get bodyguards. They need bodyguards. They obviously have, Scheana has Raquel's got the restraining order against Scheana. We think that was granted, right? We still don't have confirmation that was granted, although I feel like we do.
I think what it is I think it was like, I think it was like injunctive relief, like a temporary restraining order. So it was granted. And now they have a hearing on the 23rd of March to see, look, if you're really in danger, you get a temporary